started recording. There we go. It's recording now. Okay. So students, what are we doing? I don't know what's happening on campus and things, but yes, we got our online class going. So we're going to go through Unit 3 and 3.1. So I want to share my screen. Let me just see now. Share. Where are you? There you are. And I'm going to go screen. Okay. Can everybody see this white stop or start sharing? Can you see this? Let me minimize my screen. Can you guys see my desktop? Anybody? Let me just see in the chat. Okay, it is on screen mode. All right. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm just going back in here so you can see my screen. Okay, let me minimize. Right, students, where are we? Blackboard. Let's go. I am in here and I'm in Blackboard over there. Is there hands being raised? Is there people that want to ask me questions? Let me just go back quickly. Where are we now? Let me go back. No, man. What am I doing? Let me see here. Let me go there. Okay, everybody. Is there a hand here? Who's this? Viva or Vava? People's hands are being raised here, so I don't know if people want to ask me something. If you can type it in the box, and if I can't see it, I can reply back to it a bit later. Is that okay, guys? Let me just see here, and 1 out of 2, and 2 out of 2. Okay, so we got quite a few students in. Okay, cool. Nice, man. Morning, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, let's minimize and we go back to the sharing screen. So I'm in my I'm in my Blackboard now, students, and I'm sure you guys went through the presentation, which I'm going to go through quickly. So basically, what is Unit 3 all about, which is basically this presentation? So you can see it. Okay. The June exams will be 20% weight years, obviously. That will be, the timetable will come out in the middle of May. And don't forget, students, about your individual assignment next week, April the 8th. Unit 2. So it's open book, and you got a week from the 8th of April to the 15th of April, eh? And we will upload it closer to the time. So you will find you will find all your answers in Unit 2. And the most important thing is your own words. You can ask ChatGPT to help you, but you must still put it in your own words. You know the drill. We went through that last term. Then we will have our group assignment. So what you guys can do so long, let me just go back. Let me just exit this. Unit, where did I put it? I think I put it in an announcement. Yes, then your group assignment, which will be based on that unit. And that's what we're doing right now. All right. So you will find your, let me just close up here quickly. You will find your March assignment exam in the formal assessment folder. This is Unit 2. I'm talking about the individual assignment from the 8th of April to the 15th. You will find it in there. And your group, and your group assignment, you will find in that folder over there. Something like that. March assessment. Oh, okay. You will find it also. Oh, that's the criteria and scope. But this is what I'm talking about. All right. This is your group assignment when you have a maximum of 4 groups. 4 members in a group. And all that. Anyway, let's get back to Unit 3. So let me close up here. Unit 2, Unit 6, 5, 4, 3. Here we are. Okay. and we introduction. So we went through the overview. Let me go through it quickly. Sorry. We went through halfway. Let me open it up again. So basically, there is some theory concepts that you can also start, reading through. What is concatenate? What is count if? What is adding? And we are going to do the practical side of it, which is 3.1 and 3.2, and submission. So there we go, blah, 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 what instructions is all about, what the whole unit is all about. And this is where we practical renaming a file, renaming a sheet, and we're going to go through all these things here. I'm going to basically show you now in exercise 3.1 and maybe 3.2. So guys, I might go a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow, but the beauty of this is the video will be recorded, so you can always go back and watch it again. All right. Let's see. Questions. Okay. So yeah, every unit, well, we will do it differently. We're going to download the exercise. We're going to extract it. We're going to copy and paste it to desktop. We're going to do it. And we're going to re-zip it and upload it to Blackboard. That's the main steps. So basically what I just said now, we're going to do. So I'm going to exit and let's go. That's the introduction. And let's go to the exercises. We are going to start now with unit 3.1. So when I click on here, something over here is going to be downloaded. So I want you to watch the steps carefully. Let me just check if there's any questions quickly on the side here. Nothing so far, so good. Everybody's with me. Okay. And let's minimize again. And here we are. I click on that and see what happens. The file get downloaded. I already tested it. That's why it's called 1 in brackets. Now, step 2. I minimize my screen. I go into File Explorer. This is my desktop. File Explorer. I go into Downloads on my left-hand side. And over there, 3.1 I have downloaded. So I'm going to delete this one just to prevent confusion. That's the one. Now, students, we're going to extract this file or folder. Right-click. Extract all. Watch the steps. Extract it. Right. Now, can you remember in file management that we did last term? The one is zipped and the one is unzipped. I don't need that file anymore. I'm going to click on my delete button on keyboard and delete it. Right. Inside here, I'm going to right-click now with my mouse and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to minimize my screen and I'm going to paste it on the desktop. And there it is. And I'm going to move it in the center. So far, so good. Right. Let's double click and see what's inside here. It's our question papers and we double click again. It's basically the questions and what we call a starter file. Right? So we're going to have like a blank starter file where we're going to insert figures, where we're going to use formulas, etc. I'm going to double click and I'm going to open both. And it's going to be over here where we're going to minimize and maximize, open up and close. And we're going to do it question by question. And I double click my questions. So basically, let me kind of minimize this out of the way. Okay. So basically, students, this is what our 3.1 exercise will be all about. We're going to cover formatting. We're going to autofill over here. Let me highlight it in yellow. Right. Copy series. We're going to add information, values. We're going to determine the average values. We're going to determine the minimum, the lowest, the smallest value. We're going to determine the biggest, the highest, the maximum value in this exercise. Now I'm going to open up what we call the starter file or data file or skeleton file, meaning like a blank file. And let's go again. minimize. On my desktop, as you can see here, the actual exercise. Right, let's see. Sheet 2, sheet, okay. Let's make the screen a little bit bigger for you. Is that better? Right. So we are going to add a couple of things in Excel. So basically, what are these blocks called? These blocks are called cells. C-E-L-L. So if they say in cell H3, that means column H, row number 3, in that cell, determine the values, determine the totals, determine whatever they're going to ask us. So I hope that makes sense to you. If I am working in K12, they want me to put something column K, row 12, which is that one over there. So I hope that makes sense. You understanding the features. These are sheets at the bottom. This is sheet 2. This is sheet 1. We can rename sheet 2 by right-clicking with my mouse and left-clicking on rename, and we can give it a new name. We can also add in different colors to that sheet. So these are all things that I'm showing you. We're going to focus on, obviously, the SA crime sheet, the name of the sheet, and we're going to look at page layout views. We're going to look at basic formulas, which we find over here. What else? What else? Data that we're going to use when we do importing and exporting. We're going to use the insert. These are all called menu tabs. The home tab, bold, italics, underline, font sizes, the type of font, alignment fonts. We're going to center the work. We're going to left align it. We're going to right align it. We are going to change values to numbers or percentages or accounting or currency. Pardon? We're going to use conditional formatting. We can use that figure called auto sum. We're going to sort filter from A to Z or Z to A. I'm just giving you an overview of the features of Excel. We're going to fill things with color. We can change that Western Cape color to red or green. And we can change it back to normal, which is automatic black and white. We can change the background of Northwest to blue or to whatever color they ask you to do. And I'm just going to say no fill, back to normal. So it's things like that that we're going to feature here, that we're going to work with students. So I'm just giving you an overview what Excel is all about as well. And now we're going to tackle the questions. So, open the Excel file, which we just did now, and complete the following. And I'm going to make it yellow. Underneath South Africa, in cell B14, they want us to type maximum, type minimum, and type average. So 14, 15, 16, they want us to do this, students. We are in 13, under South Africa, column B, row 14, 15, and 16. They want me first to type in, what is it? Maximum, minimum, average. Okay, so we're going to max. I'm just going to use the word max for maximum, min, and average. Oops, spelling. Okay, so we got that done. Change the row height of row 14, 15, 16, and 17 to the size 25 and apply a tick box border around 13. B13. So row 14, 15, 16, 17, we're going to first change to 25. Row 14, I right click with my mouse and I click on that number 14 and I click on row height. And they want me to change this and we type it in on the keyboard to 25. And I say, okay. But now I'm going to do 15 and 16 at the same time. So I click with my mouse and I drag. I selected, okay, I selected both. Right? I right click, row height, and I'm going to change both to 25. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. And what else do they want me to do? A thick outside border as in B13. And apply a thick, oh. So they want me to, like what I did here, I must do the same for that one, and for that one. So with thick box borders, where do we find? I'm going to select first. Borders and shading. Borders. Let me look. Where are you now? Why can't I find you? Borders and shading. Oh, there you go. A thick outside box border. Can you see? And I'm going to shade in a thick outside box border, and I can click on it. And same for 16. A thick outside box border. So far, so good. Everybody okay here? All right. Anything? You just exit that. Right. Let me just see my phone. I think a message went off here. Oh, I thought it was one of our groups. Anyway, next question. Apply bold, italics, and underline to all of these things that we just did now. In B13, B14, 15, 16, and 17. Apply bold, italics, and center align. Okay. Bold, italic center, bold, italic center, bold, italic center, and bold, italic center. So here we go. Center align. I'm putting it in the middle. That is right align. That is left align, which it was. They want me to center that. They want me to apply bold. And they want me to apply italics. So I'm going to do the same for the rest. I shade in bold, italics, and underline. So far, so good. All right. Why does that every time jump? Oh, okay. There we are. So we did that one. Let's scroll a little bit down. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. In cell C3, we're going to apply currency, 2 decimal places, and the symbol Rand English. C3 to H17. C3, from C3 to H, all the way down to 17. Right, so we took my mouse and I selected from C3 to H17. That's that gray area over there. Let's just make it a little bit smaller so you can see. Okay. What do they want me to do? They want me to change this to Rand currency with 2 decimal places. Now check this out. Over there, there's currency. It's already set in 2 decimal places, and I click on him. So far, so good. There's a Rand sign in front with cents, with naught, naught, cents. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay. So that we finished over there. Okay, in other words, at the end of the day, students, our answers must look like this. The rough copy that we're working with, our stuff must look like this. All right. So where we now? Now we're going to total some values up, people. In cell H3, auto sum. C3 to G3. So in H3, we're going to add the values from C to G. In other words, this is what they want me to do. In this column over here, they want me to add that, plus that, plus that, plus that, plus that, and put the answer in H3. Make sense? Using the autofill feature. I mean, auto sum feature, sorry. So what do? I click with my mouse on there and I keep my finger on the left click and I drag it to the right. All right. This feature over here is auto sum. It automatically adds the values up for me when I click on it. Voila. Now the same thing we can do for this row. And the same thing we can do for that row. But there's another way. Now we're going to use the auto fill feature. Which is that question over there. Now, what is autofill? Autofill is that little black box in the corner where you see the black cross. That is autofill. Now, what does autofill means? Auto, automatically. I mean, auto sum or autofill. It will automatically fill the rest of the values for me. So what am I mean? You see 174, I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete it. If I click on there and I place my cursor with my mouse and I keep my finger on the left click and I pull it down, it will automatically add up all these values for me across. And I release my finger. So that is autofill, people, and auto sum. So far, so good. Any questions? Student, your hand is raised here. Now that means you want to ask me something. Okay. Sheet 3, sheet 2. Okay, we got quite a couple of students in. Nice, man. Nice, nice, nice. Let's continue. I'll go into there and where am I now? Oh, let's minimize. Right. So what did we do now? Is there a question, people? Or is people just finding their way and playing around with the features? Because it's all new to us. I know what you're saying, students. Don't worry. It's new to me too. We used to use Blackboard collaboration. That was my favorite. So we're all getting used to the features. Let me just show you quickly. This is the mic. That's the camera. That's you want to raise your hand. Okay, let's see the number of people. Someone's hand is raised again. You're testing something, or let me unraise it for you. Some people's mics is on. That's just my mic is on. Everybody else's mic is off. Okay. So we're getting used to the features here too, people, so don't worry about it. Let's minimize and continue. Let me take that off. Let me go back into chat. I see you. Okay, everybody so far so good. And minimize. Right. Next question. In cell C13, next to South Africa, add the values down. Now we added the cross, which is horizontal. Now we're going to add the values down, which is vertical, from C3 to C11. In other words, we added the values across. Now we're going to add this column C's values down. And we're going to use the auto sum feature again. So if I can do that for that column C, which is injuries, I can do the same for burglary, all of them, and pull it down and auto sum. Now you see those hashes. What does that mean? That means the totals are too big and it cannot fit into the cell. But there's a way that we can make this totals look like that and like that. We can make it visible. All right? And there you see it right there. We're going to use a feature called auto fit. That one over there. So far, so good. So what is auto fit? I place my cursor between F and G, or E and F, or D and E, or C. In this case, that column, that column, that column. When I double click, I place my cursor, you see the black cross? And I double click, and I double click, and I double click. So we made the columns fit so that we can see the values, in this case, the values inside each and every cell. That what we just did now was auto fit. What we did here, we pull the values down, is auto fill. And that one over there is called auto sum. So we did 3 autos today as well. And obviously auto means automatically. Okay. Now we're going to focus on max, min, average. The maximum, highest, the minimum, lowest, and the average values of each and every column over there. So let's see. Okay, we did all of that. And here we are now. So far, so good. All right. Oh, I see there's more. There's a median also that I've added in C17. But that's fine. We'll get to that part over there, which is this over there, the median value. So I forgot to say in my question, type the word median also in. Okay, no stress. And what's it? B17, the median. So don't stress, we'll get to there. So in other words, where's my mouse now? Okay, my cursor. They want me, and I forgot to change this also to 25. The height of the row. And they want me to type in the word median. And they want me to center it and bold italics. And they also want me to add a tick box border around it. But before we get to that, let's start with the highest values. We need to determine the highest value of that, the lowest value of that, the average values, and the median. That, and that. So if you can see and I can see, the biggest value here looks like 12,000. I'm going to make it red. The lowest value is 1,000. I'm going to make it green. And the average and median, that is something else that we have to work out because it entails all those figures. So I'm going to make this red so that it corresponds with that. And I'm going to make that green so it corresponds with that. Make sense? I'm just showing to you in colors so you don't get confused. So the maximum value, there's a way and a formula that we use to determine the highest by going into formulas. Pardon, the formula tab. Recently used. Okay, we are going to go search for it now. And I'm going to type in there max. And I'm going to say go. The maximum value is equal to max. And I click on OK. They want me to determine the highest value in from there. Click and drag to there. Now, what does that little preview tell me over there? 12,000, 12,000. And watch. And I click on OK. So that is the maximum formula that we just did now. Look at the formula bar. Now we're going to determine the minimum, the lowest one. We're going to go again into recently used. And I'm going to go search and I'm going to type in min, M-I-N. And I'm going to go search it. And there it is. And I'm going to say, OK. And I'm going to select again the whole range from C there to determine the lowest, smallest value. 19, and OK. So far, so good, students. Okay, now they want me to determine the average of all these criteria. But now, in recently used, we're gonna search it, and I'm gonna type in AVE, and OK, or enter, and I see the word average there, the average value, and I'm gonna say OK, and I'm gonna select my criteria or my range from there to there. That's going to determine the average values for me, and OK. So far, so good. Now, students, they want me to determine the median. Same steps. Recently used. I don't see it there. And I'm going to say insert function. And I am going, nope. Cancel. Place my cursor first in the box where I want my answer to appear. Right. Recently used. Insert a function and type and search for median. And we type it in and I say, OK. And there it is. And I say, OK. Determine the median value range from there to there. Look what I see there, 7606, and OK. So let's look quickly. 7606, there we go. Can you see? This is my answer sheet. So far, so good. So we covered all of these over here now, students. So far, so good. But we need to autofill across to all the other values. I place my cursor in there. I place my mouse in that corner with the right bottom box in the corner, and I click. I keep my finger on the left click, and I drag it to the right. I keep my finger on the left click, and I drag it to the right. Same for that one, and same for the median. In other words, what is this, student? It determined the average and median and highest value of that column for me, of that column for me. So let's see. Let's look at the highest. 15. 8,000 red. Home tab. And 15 is the lowest, green. So the same for that one, highest. And 4730 is the lowest. Same for the averages. Same for the medians. So far, so good. And obviously, they want me to, I'm going to take this red colors away now because it's going to make you, I was just trying to show you what the highest value is and what the lowest value is. And I'm going to say no fill. Where's it now? There. I say. And I'm the same I'm going to do there. No fill. I was just trying to show you what the biggest values are and what the smallest values are. And obviously, they want me to add these values across. Auto sum. Across. auto sum, or I can autofill with that box bottom in the right bottom corner, and I pull all the values down. So it added all these values up for me. Thick outside border B13 to B17, which we did do. A thick outside border from B13. What's it? Well, read properly. To H17. It is right. To H17. There we go. So they all got box borders. All right, let's see what the answer solution looks like. Yep, so far so good. In column H, the total column, apply bold center italics to all the values. Okay. Bold italic to all the values. From there, I click on cell B, what's it, H3, and I select them. I just click and drag it all the way down. I'm going to format these values to bold and italics, or italics and bold. Let's see. Take that away. I say. And we are done, students. Save and close your exercise, but now I'm going to teach you something. So, right, let's see. What did we cover? We made our screen bigger. We changed the values to currency and rand. We made the columns by auto-fitting. We applied the rand currency to all the values. We typed in values. We calculated the highest values. We calculated the lowest values. We calculated the average values and the median values from the criterias, from each criteria. We added across. We added horizontally. We added vertically. So that is all the outcomes for this exercise, people. Welcome to Excel. Now you are going to save it as, let's see. All right. Now watch, students. Where we now? Right. I save it. All right. The file is saved. I exit. I minimize. This is the question paper. Yes, I save it also. I save the question paper and I exit. I am going to right click and I'm going to rename my file as surname, your stud number, your group, and EXE 3.1. Exercise 3.1. So far, so good. And I click away anywhere. I click anywhere away. Right. Now, we exit. Remember, we saved this file on the desktop. I'm going to right click and I'm going to rename this file again. Also, to your surname, your student number, your group, 3.1, or EXE 3.1. I click away. Now we're going to zip this file, students. Right click, compress, zip it, and give it a couple of seconds, and there we go. I am going to upload which file? This one or that one? I'm going to upload my zipped file now to Blackboard. So I go into Blackboard. Back to Blackboard. Right? I go into submission links, that one over there. And here we go. I click on him. Right. I click in this box here. You see that attachment over there, like a money clip? I'm going to go find my file that I saved on the desktop. The zipped file, which is right at the top over there. And I click on open. And I click on save. And on the right bottom side here, at the bottom, you will see submit. But I can't submit to myself. And in the bottom corner, you click on submit and save. This is to tell me that you have uploaded your 3.1 exercise successfully. That's it, students. That is 3.1. And I exit. And I go back to my screen over here. And I'm going to say stop sharing. Is there any questions, students? So what you need to do now, watch the video again. Check your mouse clicks and dragging and auto sum and formulas, and you practice and you do this exercise. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. And we're back to normal. Students, is there any questions? You can type in the box for me. Besides the exercise, is there anything else you want to ask me? Hey, students, anything else? So we did quite a bit of work today. Let's look at this quickly. So in that submission link, I'm going to go quickly into the introduction, and I'm going to quickly go into the definitions and theories. This is the theory side. And I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger. Somebody morning, sir, is it regarding the exercise, do groups? Oh, okay. No, wait, let me minimize quick. Let me read your question. Is it regarding the exercise, do groups have to have names, or we just type the group? Where can I find the recordings for the class, sir? That's a very good question. Once the recording is done, you will have to go into MS Teams. And let me just see now. You see, I can only stop the recording and then show you where to find it. It should be available. Give it about 10-15 minutes, because it must now still format and it must still whatever. Okay, now there's a question. Morning, sir, regarding the exercise, do groups have to have names, or we just type in group? No. So what do you mean? Of the exercise, your group. So say you are in FT group B. Are you talking about saving your file or renaming your file? You be a bit more clear here, student. Do groups have to have names, or we just type group? The way I saved it is the way you do it, students. Your surname, your student number, your group, and EXE. And I will show you where the recordings will be. Is there anything else, students? For example, I'm in group C, meaning should it specify? Yes. So your name, your surname, group C, exercise 3.1. Perfect. Let me give you a thumbs up. Anything else, students? Anything else? So I'm going to stop the recording now. More. And stop recording. Okay, and transcription. Stop. Okay.